if you are watching right now, this is the replay. We are no longer live, but welcome. I look kind of crazy. It's been the longest day and it's cold and rainy outside, but I hope that you had a great day. I'm just wrapping up this wallet. I'm gonna wait for my TikTok friends to jump on and then we will get started. Today I'm making a Kiana bag in this print. And we'll talk a little bit more about it once everybody joins the live. Hello everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hello. Okay, let me get set up. So much to do. Hi Amber, how are you? Hi Rachel. Hello. How's everybody's Wednesday? It's rainy here, so it's kind of yucky. Good, Amber. I'm good. It's been the longest day. I had to take Butters to the vet to get her shots, and she acted like a weirdo. They had to bring somebody in to hold her down. Now, mind you, she is 12 pounds, 8 ounces, but she is a drama queen. Like, when she gets in trouble, even if we just look at her wrong, she, like, scurries down. She's just the most sensitive dog. So I had to deal with that today. And then I'm having more sewing machine problems, so I'm dealing with that. So it's been a rough day, but it's almost over. I know. Hey, Just Mammy. I am making a Kiana in this really pretty quilted, well, I think I showed you guys the last time I was live. I quilted some purples. And so I finished up the wallet today and I'm going to be making a matching bag for it now. So the inside is going to be this lilac. It looks a little darker on live. It's a lilac and then this kind of diamond pattern. OMG, Becca, what? So good to see you again. When will customs be available? Hey, Snow Wolf, October 1st. Thanks, Janice. Hey Robin, Tawana, I know I missed a couple people, I'm sorry. Jen. Thanks, Debbie. I'm glad you're here too, Kathy. You know what I thought about, and tell me if you guys want to do this, especially you, Just Mammy, because I haven't cleared it with you yet. You know how you have like a little box on the side of the live where somebody else can come into the live and they don't have to show their picture, so it doesn't matter what you look like right now, but the audio comes through. So I thought about, hey Teaspoon, hey Bluebell, I thought about having Just Mammy, if you don't mind, maybe pop on like as a guest, but have a little picture at the bottom so that she can read to me like all the questions and comments that are going on, because I know I miss a lot of them, and I hate for you guys to think that I'm like missing your comments or not responding to you. Yeah, I know, Jen, but I want to get her thumbs up first. And if you don't want to, Just Mammy, I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. Don't worry about it. It's totally okay. So you don't even have to show your picture. I know there's a way that you can do, like you can authorize just like a voice box, like a little, it'll put you on here, but it'll only do audio. How's the new machine? I hope we get to see it in action. It's actually good. This machine is gonna need some work, and I'm actually frustrated because I tried to wind a bobbin, but because of the position of my hand crank, the what is it called? Belt. That normally catches the little circle thing on the bottom to wind the, so the belt goes like this, and then there's this little place that pushes up against it to wind the bobbin, and it's misaligned. So it normally is like this so that the belt is rotating it, but it's like over here so the belt's not catching it to wind it. So that was something else that I was dealing with today. It's been such a rough day. So I'm gonna have to actually have somebody come out instead of taking it to the guy that I took it to before. I'm actually gonna have somebody come out to look at it because now it's something impacting my table. Okay, let's see how we can do this, Just Mammy. Hey, Lori. Hey, Cindy. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Invite. Let's see. Actually, let me just click on your name. Just Sammy, can you send me an invite? Guest. Let's see, hold on, that might work.
Can you hear me?
Yes, hey.
Hey!
Okay, now let me see how I can go back. Is it full screen for you guys? Because it's not full screen for me.
It shows me like 9 little boxes.
Yeah, me too. So I wonder how. Let me try this. Co-host. Nope. Let me see.
All the little...
Do you happen to see?
Yeah, mine says suggest co-host, but...
Yeah, I saw that too. Let me see if I can just do us. Expand both. Hold on a second. Okay.
That works. You're half the screen for me, and I'm way up at the top.
I see that too. And then, let me see. Here we are. I think I found it. Yep, there we
There
go.
we go. Perfect.
Okay, so if you don't mind, and that'll actually help me work a little bit faster so I don't have to keep looking up at the screen. If somebody asks questions, I know you probably know the answer to most of them anyways, so you can either answer them or like just read them out to me.
Perfect. Will
Okay,
do.
thank you. How's your Wednesday going?
Good. Pretty chill, except I got up at 5:15 this morning.
What?
I know. And I didn't go to bed till after like 12:30, so I don't know what was wrong with me. So it's been a day already.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm wearing green leggings. I came home and cooked dinner and I got some salsa on my shirt, and so I had already posted that I was going to do a 4:30 live, so I had to like run upstairs. This dress that I'm wearing, I have a mannequin, and it was on the mannequin, and I actually just pulled it off and threw it on.
That's funny.
It's been a day.
I did, however, make a really bomb breakfast sandwich this morning because I was starving, and now I want to make one for like dinner.
What did you put in it?
I used an everything bagel, and I put bacon and egg and some Colby pepper jack cheese and some garlic aioli. It was so good.
That sounds amazing.
The wallet is made with vinyl and cotton, as is the bag she's making.
Yeah, so this is the Kiana bag, which is this bag right here. This is my pattern, so if you want to purchase it, it's on my website. One side has a slip pocket with a magnetic snap. The other side, it normally doesn't have this, but it has a zipper pocket. There's a zipper closure on here. And then there is a shoulder strap, but it's removable, so this can be taken off, and then you can add a crossbody strap as well. So on the inside, which is what I'm making right now, my husband's home, sorry. There is a zipper pocket on one side and then a dual slip pocket on the other side right here. So this pocket right here is what I'm making. I'm just adding the vinyl accent to the top of it, and then we're gonna sew it down on the inside and then sew down the center to separate those two pockets. So this is what I'm making right now. I don't think he's so loud. I don't even think he knows how loud he is.
It just sounds like we can't hear what he's saying, just a little bit of noise.
Good. Thank you. All right. So I just sewn on the vinyl accent. I like to sew it on the bottom as well as the top. If you sew it on the bottom, I'm not sure if the pattern calls for both lines of stitching, but it just holds it down a little bit better. So now what I'm going to do is find the lining. Hey, Jay. Hold on. Because we have 4 levels in our house, we actually have an intercom system. So that way you don't have to run all the way upstairs if you have to talk to someone. Let me just call them really quick. Hey, babe, I hear you.
I want an intercom system.
It's literally the best thing ever.
We just yell through the walls. What interfacing are you using for the flap of the wallet?
So I use 2 layers of fusible fleece. And then there is, for the cotton, and then there is a layer of vinyl, which also gives it a little bit more structure. But yeah, for the wallet flap, this one, because it's cotton, I just use 2 layers of fusible fleece.
Nicole, the cow print bag behind her is the Kiana, the one that she's making right now.
Normally when I make a wallet, I use 2 layers of vinyl, so I don't use any interfacing. But because this particular one is cotton, I just added some. All right, I'm just gonna add some pins to keep it in place.
The wallet is the Necessary Clutch Wallet.
Yep.
By Emmeline Bags.
You got it. All right, so the pocket is cut a little bit wider than the actual pattern piece, and then we're gonna trim it down. Are you okay with doing this, Dad?
Oh yeah, doesn't bother me at all.
I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
Kim, she doesn't have a schedule just yet. She's gonna probably have that when she starts customs.
Yeah. I know for sure I will be live tomorrow at noon Eastern time. I posted a quilted bag on my Facebook group, and then I had somebody reach out to me and ask me to make one for her. And even though my customs are closed, so my customs for printed vinyl are closed, but because she asked for a quilted bag, which means that I had the fabric here, I have the cotton fabric here, I just told her yes. So I'm going to be sewing her custom live tomorrow at noon Eastern. All right, so I'm just trimming off the excess. And then we're just going to sew down the center. You can measure it. I just fold it in half. And that's going to show me where the center is.
So enticing. She already made the wallet, so she's just making the bag now.
Yep. I haven't posted the wallet or the bag on my website for sale yet, but probably tomorrow morning it'll be available. And if you want it, you can just send me an email, info@butterbags.com. And whoever's first, if I get multiple requests, whoever's first will just get it. All right, so now we have that separated in our dual slip pocket. I'm gonna set this aside. We're going to work on the zipper closure. I've never seen someone moderating with their voice before. I know, I actually saw somebody do it on a live, and I was like, man, if I could have somebody do that so I don't miss any questions or comments, I would love that.
I think, doesn't Grandma sews? She has somebody in the corner a lot, I think.
Does she?
I think so.
I haven't seen her on live, like on my For You page in a while. Is she still
Yeah, you know, most of my people don't show up on my FYP anymore. It's all under following.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy because that used to be the case, but like every now and then, the people that you follow would also pop up on your For You page. All right, so I'm just prepping my zipper by sewing it open. So I just marked where it gets sewn open. That way it's even on both sides. I'm adding a couple of pins to secure it in place, and that's going to give it a really pretty finish in our zipper panel.
Jessica said, I know I sent an email already, but can you do a snap enclosure instead of a zipper panel for this?
Um, for this bag, I'm gonna say if it's for this particular bag, it's even if you're interested in it, this one I'm gonna have to make with the zipper just because of the way that I've prepped the bag. But if you would like to order one, I have all of the material to remake it, and then I can use a magnetic snap closure instead of a zipper. So the answer to that question is not this one, but yes, I can.
She said, yes, she meant the style.
Yeah, I actually have this one right here. So this is what it looks like with a magnetic snap instead of a zipper closure. Everything else is the same.
Are you going to be doing the quilting tomorrow or will you pre-quilt it?
I'll probably pre-quilt it because that takes the longest. But if you're interested in the quilting process, I can do that live one day. It won't be tomorrow. You made it. Hi. All right, so here's my zipper panel. The way that I wrote this pattern, I wanted to use cotton so that you get a little pop of color. So if you see at the top of this, you see a little pop of the cow print. So I wanted a pop of color on the top of the bag, but I also wanted to make sure that it was sturdy because I'm used to using vinyl for my zipper panels. So this actually has a layer of Duckaville Light on the back of both of them, on all four of them. And then they're sewn together, and it also has a finished edge because we're wrapping our cotton around that Duckaville Light after we interface it. So we have a finished edge on all sides, except for this one, which is going to be sewn into the bag. So you're not going to see that side anyways.
Does this pattern have full written instructions?
Yes.
And a video?
Yes. I think I have two that don't have written instructions, and it's the Big B and the wristlet, I believe, are the only two. Right. Isn't this color beautiful?
I love all the purples.
All the purples. I found this was actually my inspo for this, and it was white background, and I know a lot of people freak out about having a white bag, and so I found some other really pretty purples to go with it. So this is see-through right now, just because it is lined with 2 layers of fusible fleece, so it is see-through. However, once we get the bag made, it won't be. The final bag won't be see-through because we're going to have a layer of lilac behind it.
Is the Kiana domestic machine friendly?
I would say yes. Yep, I actually had 1 or 2 of my testers use a domestic sewing machine when they made it. Thanks, Donna. I love not missing questions.
And then you don't feel like you're talking to yourself either.
Exactly. I'm a chatty too, so I could sit up here and talk to you all day.
Same.
Okay, so both layers are on with some double-sided tape, and then I'm going to go ahead and sew them in place.
Donna said she missed you so much.
Oh, I missed you guys too. It was so boring while I was moving. So boring. Okay. So that side is done.
Elle, I live in South Texas.
Jealous. What's the weather like over there? Is it cool out there?
It's nice today. It's only 91.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny when you say that. It's only 100 degrees.
But it's kind of like a little kind of overcast. I wouldn't say cloudy, but it's pretty cool today.
Good. Yeah, it was like 65 degrees here. I mean, it still is. It's probably getting a little bit chillier as the sun hasn't been out all day, but as it gets later, and it was.
That's not far from me at all. Mama Amazing. I live south of San Antonio, so my daughter went to school in San Marcos, so that's not far at all.
I can't wait to become a Texan again.
Carmen, you've only missed about 20 minutes.
Yeah, not much. Okay, so the zipper panel is all sewn together, and then now I'm just going to add the zipper end. And this is done the exact same way. So it's lined with a piece of Peltex. The fabric is folded over, so that way we have a nice finished edge on all sides, the front and the back, top and bottom. I'm just going to center that and then sew it on.
We've got a lot of Texans in here right now.
Is it? I'm in the hill country north of Kerrville.
Yeah, that's about 2 hours from me.
We got a lot of close people.
How do you like your new sewing studio so far?
I love this space. Everything's in one room. I don't think I have any complaints about this space. I mean, the only thing, they have a bar in here because it is a basement. So they have like a little bar area. I wish that wasn't there just to give me more square footage, but I mean, I can't complain. Everything else is perfect. There's a lot of storage. There's a storage room in the back. There's tons of space, enough outlets, so I can't really complain.
That's better than using 2 rooms at your old place.
That's true. And like a loft. So I had one room for cutting, one room for sewing, and then I had like a loft on the top of my stairs, and I had my desk and my printer and all that there. So yeah, I needed a couple of rooms. All right, so our zipper end is stitched on. I'm going to make a mark on the center. And that way we can line it up with our center panels when we sew it together. All right, so we have this center with our dual slip pocket, or this panel with our dual slip pocket. I went ahead and installed a zipper pocket on my other sewing machine. I've made a notch at the center top and bottom for each panel. And what we're going to do is match the notch at the center to the center of our zipper. And then we're going to go ahead and add the top. Here we are. The top vinyl for the inside. So this is what the inside panel is going to look like. It has a vinyl, zipper, and then one side, right? Zipper side or a dual slip pocket. So let me go ahead and clip this in place. Does anybody happen to know that whether or not on the replay they'll be able to hear your voice, Steph?
Ooh, I don't know, but I would think it would record it as it is.
I would think so too. I would hope so. But I know, like, to hear your voice, I actually had to turn up my volume on my phone. So, hopefully.
If not, it'll just look like you're talking to yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was about to say. If not, people were just thinking that I was talking to myself, which is fine. I don't care. All right.
This is the first time I've been in the box talking with butter bags. I used to do lives though, so when
Lives? Or like somebody else's?
Yeah.
Somebody else's?
No, I used to do lives. I used to make t-shirts and cups, and sometimes I would work on a quilt top. I used to do lives, yeah. I had a little business. It was called yeah.
And I remember like encouraging you to go live, but I didn't know that you had already done it.
Yeah, I did it for a while.
Nice. And you're not interested in doing it again?
No, because like what I was doing, the market just got so oversaturated, and so no, but I like doing this.
Good.
Somebody wants to know if it's cheaper where you live now.
100%. So shipping, I was actually surprised for me to ship an order. It wasn't that much cheaper. I know that the time is going to be a lot less. So the time it would take to ship an item from Hawaii to, let's say, I don't know, Virginia, it was probably about 4 or 5 days. So the processing time to ship isn't going to be as long, but what I paid for shipping, I was actually surprised because I was assuming that it would be a lot cheaper, but it's not. But I say all that to say, the items that I purchase here, I don't have to pay for shipping, like over, for example, Wawak. If your purchase is over $100, you get free shipping. Well, in Hawaii, it doesn't matter how much you purchase. Because I lived in Hawaii, I had to pay, I think it was like $50 for shipping. So I'm going to be saving myself a lot of money when I buy items online for my business. And obviously just about everything is cheaper here than it is in Hawaii anyways, just because you have to pay more money to get items shipped to Hawaii. So those items cost more, just economics. So yes, I'll be saving a lot of money living here. All right.
The cow bag behind her is made of vinyl.
Yes. All right, so I just did the same thing on both sides. I incorporated the zipper panel as well as these top accent pieces. So both sides are done. And then the last part of the interior is just to make the gusset. And the gusset is just what gives the bag depth. So it's going to go around these two pieces. So let me grab that. There we go. Okay, and then just like the top of the interior, the gusset has accent pieces made of vinyl as well. I'm just going to clip those in place and then sew them on. If you have to run, don't feel like you're being held hostage, Steph.
No, I'm here. I'm doing nothing today. However, I'm walking into my kitchen to feed my dog because she's giving me big, giant puppy dog eyes.
I don't know if you were on when I was telling everybody I had to take my dog to the vet today.
Yeah, I heard that. Poor baby.
So embarrassed. And then, like, afterwards, they gave her She's a really sweet dog. She has no pain tolerance. And I was like, you embarrassed us today, Butters.
And it's funny because my big old 80-pound boxer, when I take her to the vet, she's like frozen. They can do whatever they want to her. She causes no issue whatsoever.
Love that video. Okay, so I have marked the center right here with a pen. So I'm going to match the center of my gusset up with the center, the center of both of the bottom panels, and then sew that on. I'm just gonna take it off. Do you feed your dog like twice a day?
Yes, and she knows exactly what time.
Does she?
She knows exactly what time.
Big dogs are normally like that. Like mine, they're just free fed. So I just keep a bowl of food full and like they just graze on it every now and then. But I know my mom's dog, which is a bigger dog, like she waits patiently for her food in the morning and at nighttime.
She's actually the first dog I've ever had that didn't free feed, but she has such a sensitive stomach that we have to feed her the expensive, like fresh food and all that. And so, yeah. And she's weight controlled because they tell her that she's a little hefty, but I don't believe them.
She's a little fatty.
Oh, she's 80 pounds. They want her to be 75.
Oh.
I'm like, really?
That has two boxers where this largest lap dogs.
Oh, yeah. She thinks she's a lap dog.
You have to do that with much more. You have to portion control. I cook for my spoiled dogs. My doctor says they eat more healthy than I do. I've thought about it, like with the anchovies and the sweet potatoes and all the good stuff for the dogs. I just don't know if I can keep like up with groceries.
It sounds like a good idea until I'm having to make it all the time.
Yeah. And then by then, they probably won't go back to regular food. They'll be like, what are you even thinking about giving me this stuff for?
Exactly.
All right. So I'm just sewing this on. Making sure everything is out of the way so I don't accidentally sew over the other side. There we go. She's on science diet for sensitive stomach. She weighed 70 pounds. Oh my goodness. Hey Lisa! An antibiotic. Chicken, carrots, peas. Yeah, that sounds pretty healthy. I don't know if mine would eat the peas or the carrots. Definitely the chicken though.
I feed mine Ollie, the fresh food Ollie. So she gets like the Ollie fresh food and the Ollie baked food twice a day. She loves it.
We used to feed ours the fresh pet where you cut a portion of it.
She was on that for a while, but my vet said that it had too much sodium in it.
I heard that it wasn't really that like as good of an alternative. It's better than like processed regular dog food, but
And I also like the fact that Ollie delivers to my gate, so I don't have to go shop for that.
You said you're not a big grocery shopper anyways, right?
No, but I went yesterday. I deserve a gold star.
Gold star for you. All
It is
right.
probably my least favorite thing to do.
Grocery shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny. Before we moved to Hawaii, my husband and I used to go grocery shopping. Like we would go grocery shopping together all of the time. And then I don't know what it was about moving to Hawaii, but like we stopped going together, and I was just responsible for going grocery shopping all the time. And it's that way now. And I actually mentioned something to him about it the other day. I was like, you know, you used to go grocery shopping with me. Do you want to start? And he was like, nope, no thanks.
Yeah, my husband is like, no. He shops, like he left for work this morning and he'll shop. He'll stop and shop for his 2-week hitch, but other than that, if I ask him really nicely if he's in town, if he'll stop and grab something, he will, but he doesn't like the grocery store either.
Yeah.
That's why we are always making up these really cool meals on what we can make out of the pantry.
What do we have? Yeah, mine's really good. Like if I ask him to stop on the way home, he definitely will. But like going and doing our 2-week grocery shopping, nah, he's not interested in that at all. All right, so I like to clip the straight ways. So straight on the bottom, straight on the side. And for the curves, because your fabric can shift around when you're sewing the curves, I like to just add a couple of pins. And that way, while I'm sewing, I have to remove my clips to sew these 2 pieces together, but I don't have to with the pins. I can sew right on over those. I hate shopping. Now, like clothes shopping, no. If I can't get it on Amazon, or if like there's like a pair of jeans that I've been wearing forever and I really like the feel of them, I'll just try to find it online. But I cannot stand clothes shopping.
I just make my daughter do it for me. I mean, I'll go with her and she'll pick stuff out and say, here, Mom, this is good.
I don't have anybody like that. What? Let me let her outside really quick. Hold on. Come on. That is one thing I love about this basement. Like, if the dogs need to go out while I'm down here working, I can just go to the back door and let them out. Before I would have to run all the way downstairs to let them out the back door.
Do y'all have a little yard?
So, yes, it's little. It's really little. But yeah, we have a balcony upstairs where like the main floor is, like with the living room and kitchen and stuff. And then we have this walkout basement. And then like the front yard, we have like the tiniest patch of grass. But I miss the yard. That is one.
Yeah.
I like fabric shopping. Same. I can go to the fabric store and stay in there all day long. All right, done with the pens. I'm going to, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but when I sewed this side together, I used some pinking shears just to get rid of some of the excess fabric. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I moved to Alexandria, Virginia. So it's like the city. So like everything's really small. Parking is really bad. I live in a townhouse.
I went to Alexandria, Virginia in 1996.
Did you? What were you out here for?
We had just gotten married, and my sister-in-law was 8.5 months pregnant, so she couldn't come. So we went to Alexandria, Virginia for our honeymoon
Oh,
to go
nice.
see her.
You guys were living in Texas?
Oh, yeah. So we drove up there and we stopped in Tennessee and did stuff along the way.
Yeah, it's
And then we
beautiful.
did a couple of things in DC, but because she was so pregnant,
I'm
not
sure
very
walking
much.
wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff to do up here. I was actually talking to one of my neighbors, and she mentioned that you can take a tour through the treasury, and you can kind of see like they have a like where all the printing presses for the money is, and all of the different steps to process the money. They have that going down on the floor, and then there's like an upstairs where you can actually stand and watch it. And I just thought that was like the coolest thing. So I'm going to try to see if I can find out how to get a tour to the treasury. All right, interior
That would
is
be
all.
fun.
I know. Of course you can't take pictures. I wish I could, but you can't. Okay, so we have our zipper pocket on one side. We have our dual slip pocket on the other side. This bag has a ton of room. It's not one of my biggest bags, but it definitely is generous with the size. And then we have our zipper closure. So the inside is done. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside and work on the outside. Let me start with the zipper pocket just to get that out of the way. Thank you. All right, so zipper pocket, you're going to take one of your lining pieces and lay it right side up. You're going to take your zipper and lay it right side up or T side up. And that's going to go on the very top, and you're going to sew that down. Do you hear that knocking?
Yeah.
It's terrible. I mean, I feel like it's gotten worse too. Okay, then you're going to take your other lining piece right side up, and then you're going to lay this teeth side up at the very top of it as well, and then sew it down. Someone's not happy. Okay. And then I'm going to add my zipper pull. Maybe turn on my iron.
That is something I can never do is put those on zippers.
Really? I feel like it just takes practice. Have you tried using those little tools that they have?
I've tried using a fork.
Yeah, I've heard of that too. Okay. While my iron is heating up, I'm just going to, let's see. Okay, so here's the way the bag is constructed. This is going to be on one side. So this is going to be one side of the bag. And then the slip pocket right here is going to be on the other side like this. So this is the full exterior slip pocket, and then this is the full exterior for the front or back, whatever. I think I'm just going to use a one of my zipper pulls for my brand instead of the name tag, so that way you can make it whatever front side you want. Hopefully that made sense. All right, so
Elle said you must register in advance with your congressional office and have a real ID for tours of the Treasury building.
I think I heard that. So we requested a couple of other tours that have to go through your congressman. So I sent an email. I haven't heard anything yet. So I clearly don't have a great congressman. I'm sure they have other things to worry about aside from my tour. I haven't really had the best luck reaching out to congressmen. I had to do that when we were leaving Hawaii. We had a couple of issues going on, so I actually had to reach out to my state senator so that we could get off that daggone island. All right. So I'm going to measure down, center my zipper pocket. 1, 2, 3. I used to have all these measurements memorized, but not sewing for 3 months. It's like amazing what I have forgotten.
To
All right.
retrain your brain.
Yeah, I know. So that's just taped in place. I'm going to go ahead and sew around the outside of this panel. I have this pattern, the zipper pocket or zipper overlay. It's a free pattern on my website if you're interested in making one of these. I got an email from somebody the other day asking me if they can shorten it because it was a little bit too long for their project. And what I suggested to do is print out the pattern, cut the pattern in half, and then, so let's say this is the half that you're working with. You can cut off like 1 inch of this pattern, and then you would put them back together again. Hopefully that makes sense. So cut this pattern in half. On one half of it, you can cut off like 1 inch of it, and then you can put those 2 halves back together again, and it will shorten it for you. All right, let me iron this down. Get some of these wrinkles out. Cookie is coming up behind me. She never comes back here while I'm sewing, so my husband must not be paying her any attention.
Who's telling on him?
Yeah, she is. She is a lot more independent, but like Butter, she wants to be held, loved on. So he's probably up there holding Butters and not giving Cookie any attention. But I mean, honestly, that's normal because she doesn't usually want attention. All right, I'm going to hand crank around the corner.
It even sounds like it's harder to turn hand crank.
It is. It is. I'm smiling so I don't cry.
You'll get it fixed.
I will. And I mean, worst case, they can tell me that it's not fixable, and then they just give me money to buy another one. So I know either way it's going to be fine. It's just so frustrating. I think just because this wasn't the only thing that was damaged. There were so many other things that were damaged. But yeah, it'll be fine. It's usable right now, so all is good.
Red Taz, this one is going to be for sale.
Yes, it is. And if you don't want to wait for me to list it, if you would like it, you can just send me an email, info@butterbags.com. And if there isn't someone who's already claimed it, it's yours. But yeah, it will be for sale.
If you had to, would you buy the same model Juki?
That's a great question. Now that I have my other machine, my 5550-6, probably. I don't really have a lot of experience with any other heavy-duty industrial machines, so this is what I know, and I've never had a problem with it, and I can almost guarantee that had I not moved, I wouldn't have any issues with it. So, probably. All right, I've sewn around the outside. And then now what I'm going to do is take this fabric out of the center of it so we can go ahead and install our zipper. 1541. Yeah, like I said, I'm not really familiar with them, but I know I have a couple of industrial sewing machine dealers. I don't think I have any Juki dealers close to me. I think there's one in Maryland. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me to just take a day, go around, and try a couple of different machines. Because I'm not saying that this is the end-all be-all, because like I said, I don't really have experience with any other heavy-duty industrial machines, but she's been great.
I don't think you would have to get permission from your congressman to do that.
Yeah. Nope.
But that would be something fun to do when your mom comes.
That's true. She's on like a really tight window. So my sister is graduating college and she lives about an hour away. So she's actually coming up here mainly to see her graduation, but she's going to be staying with us because we have a little bit more room. Um, and then I have two sisters and a brother that are like 3 hours south of me. So she's going to be up here for a couple of days. She's going to drive down there to see them and then her friends in the old area that she used to live in. And then she'll come back up here for like a day or two. And then they're out of here. But yeah, while she's here, that's a great idea. And Maryland's not that far away. I think we made it to Baltimore in like an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I feel like everything is so close here. Like around this area. I had many industrials that last time that happened to me. My belt was rubbing. Yeah. That's the thing with industrials. Like, if you don't know how to fix what's wrong, like you have to take it to somebody else. With a regular sewing machine, I feel a little bit more confident, like taking off the side plate, messing around with it. But with an industrial machine, I have no clue what I'm doing. I will say that there are a ton of YouTube videos.
Robin, she's in Virginia.
All right, so I'm just centering the zipper and pressing my tape down.
Versus she can file a claim because it was damaged in the move if they can't fix it.
Yeah, so I've already talked to our claim adjuster, and there's a form that the person who fixes it has to fill out, and they can tell them if it's salvageable or if it's not. So they'll pay me. I have to pay out of pocket to have somebody come and repair it, but they'll reimburse me for that. And if it's repairable, then they'll pay for it, and if it's not, they'll just give me. So like we had a couple other things that we had to claim, and I think there was like they gave me full price of everything except for one thing. We had a lamp, and the lampshade had prongs that connected the lampshade to the actual lamp fixture, and the prongs had broken, and so they didn't give me the replacement value for the entire lamp, but they did give me the replacement value for a lampshade. But everything else, like my computer screen was broken, my bed was broken. It was over $2,000 of stuff that was broken, and they paid all of that full value. So I don't know why they wouldn't give me full value for the sewing machine if it is in fact unable to be fixed.
Lori, I can see her sewing.
Maybe not the box on the bottom, that's Dash talking. So you're not going to be able to see anything she is doing. She's incognito. Can everybody else see something? All right, so our zipper.
Oh, Cleo said she can't either. See, where I guess your foot where you're actually sewing.
Oh, right here?
Yeah. I guess
Oh,
that's.
I see the throat plate. Yeah. It's all the way down. I figured that most people would want to see this area instead of that area. I mean, I don't mind moving it. Ugh. I could probably push it back a little bit.
Is that better?
Okay, good.
Perfect. That's better. Good.
All right, let's go. But Mona, I didn't see you pop in. All so now I'm just gonna pull this down, connect it to the bottom. It's stuck in that tape, which is fine. And then we're gonna sew it closed. I have one of these fully cut out since before you moved in. I sewed it together. What? What are you waiting for? It's a great bag. Now your first time, I think my first time ever, making any new pattern is definitely a little bit challenging until you get the flow down, but make it. What's the number in the box where Mammy is?
I'm not sure.
Is that an 8?
Yeah, it says 8, but I'm not sure what it is for.
What can people see now that is so important to see? I'm confused. I don't know.
Whoa, someone gave me coins. Cool. Y'all
I
are
don't
so
know.
sweet.
You want to see like underneath the sewing machine? I'm not really sure.
I think they wanted to. I think they wanted to see more of the like presser foot and where you're actually sewing at.
Oh, I see. I was gonna say, if you want to see the problems with my sewing machine, I'm happy to show you. Even though you can hear most of it. All right, let me trim the excess off. And then I'm going to work on the slip pocket. There we go. So the exterior zipper pocket, fully closed. It's a nice size too. It measures the entire width of the pocket. See the sewing though, that's why it confused me. There were 9 boxes when you first joined. Maybe there's room for 8 more. Oh, see, now there's 9 by her name. So maybe it is coins. All right, zipper pocket.
Okay, somebody just sent me an ice cream cone and it went up to 9. Thank you. Whoever sent me an ice cream cone.
All right, let me go ahead. Grab my magnetic snap closure. This is going to be for the slip pockets. I'm going to measure down where it gets installed.
Mama Amazing, you just double tap the screen to give her likes.
All right, so I'm marking it out. I'm going to lay this. So the magnetic snap is going to be snapped from the lining to the actual bag. So I'm going to go ahead and line those up. And then I'm going to poke through both of them at the same time. That way I know everything is nice and lined up when the pocket is actually sewn on. Sorry if my voice is cracking, you guys. I think it's just allergies. All right, let me set that aside. Let's go ahead and sew our lining to the pocket.
Versus she's making the Kiana. It's now. It's that cowhide one behind her and that coffee one, yeah.
It's behind me now that I moved the angle of the camera. All right. Normally I would trim the curves on here. I'll probably do it.
Yes, her solids are from marine vinyl fabrics.
Okay. Cutting off the curve with pinking shears allows your fabric to normally lay a lot flatter because you're taking all that excess fabric out of there. So now I'm just going to flip that to the back. Get everything lined up so that way I can do my top stitch. Is your solid lavender vinyl from Marine Vinyl Fabrics? Yes. The number in the box seems to be how many points do you have? I didn't know you had points. Yeah.
I didn't either.
How exciting. All right, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do a top stitch along here.
Yes, this one will be available.
All right, let me go ahead and install my magnetic snap.
What interface do you use on the fabric?
So on my lining fabric, I use a woven interface, so like a SF101. And then for my quilted exterior, it's actually 2 layers of fusible fleece. The interior of all of my bags, I always use woven interfacing. So like this is the back of the fabric, this is my pocket, so it's not interfaced, but the actual bag itself is interfaced with woven.
Mona says it's very pretty.
Thanks. We're almost done too. Just a couple more steps. I think the only thing I need to do is make my gusset and then put, attach the front and back to the gusset and then put the inside in. And that's it. She will be done.
Butterbag is the name of her business.
Go for it, Dash.
When she first started making bags, she made bags from butter soft leggings. That is so much easier to say than to type.
All right. Slip pocket is done. Our magnetic snap lines up perfectly because we went ahead and matched it with the lining before we sewed it on. So everything is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and mark the bottom center. And that's just going to be making it easier for when I put my gusset on a little bit later. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of a notch. Let me see if I did that with my other side. I did not.
Nancy, it's not completely fixed.
The sewing machine?
Yeah.
It works for the time being.
Lavada, I would say it's probably one of the most commonly asked questions. What is a butter bag?
Yeah, it is.
This is the Kiana bag that she's making.
Yep, which is this bag right here. So you have the slip pocket. This is the pocket that we just made. This was the zipper pocket that we made earlier. And then we already did the inside lining of the bag. I brought this down because I wanted to show you the next step that we're making. So the gusset has 3 sections for the outside. You have a side, you have a bottom, which is an independent piece, and then you have the other side. So right now what I'm going to go ahead and do is make our shoulder strap attachments, which go on both sides. And then after we do that, we just sew the bottom to it, and then we can go ahead and sew this entire gusset to the front and the back, what we just made. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape. It's so great to see you at the Juki. Thanks. Hi, Nancy. We got Nancy Bear, and then we have Nancy Cohen. All right, let me add a couple of pieces of tape. Grab my hardware. All right. So we're just going to fold each side into the center. That's going to give us our finished edges on both sides. I'm going to add a piece of tape to the top. Add my hardware on. And then flip this over. That tape's going to hold that fold down. And then I'm just going to add a couple of pieces of tape to the back. And then we're going to go ahead and stick that on the side. I'm just going to go ahead and prep my other one first and then just do both of them together. Looks like you got your spot all set up. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I've got like a couple things here and there that I need to find places for. But yes, finally got it all put together. I'm sure I'm going to change it once or twice before I leave here.
I was gonna say, let's see how it is in the next year. You'll be moving stuff around before the year's up.
Yeah.
Did you get your kitchen cabinets finally the way you wanted them, or did you just leave them like they were?
I just left them. I mean, one day when I have some time, I'll probably go in there and change them around, but it's not like detrimental to my life, so I'll just leave it the way that it is. It does annoy me though, and I know like when I have people over, they'll probably ask me like, hey, this doesn't make sense. And I'll be like, hey, you're right. I just haven't had time. Gotta run. It was great watching. Thanks, Lori. Have a good night. Hi, Cinnabon. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and sew these on.
She is making a handbag. It's called the Kiana. Bye, Cindy.
Bye, Cindy. Have a good evening.
What stitch length do you use on your industrial?
So the stitch length really depends on what I'm sewing. So like these, I am using a 4.5. Top stitching, I usually use anywhere between 4.5 and 5. Construction of the bag, like when I sewed the interior pieces together, I used a 3. I'll probably use a 3 when I sew the outside pieces together with the gusset. So normally about a 3 for construction, and then like between a 4.5 and 5 for top stitching. All right, so now, sorry,
Mama Amazing, she is doing a live tomorrow. You said 12 Eastern?
Yeah, noon Eastern. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and add some rivets just because. I don't think the pattern calls for it, but it's just gonna reinforce the connectors, so it won't hurt. Hi, Big Sis. Do you worry about perforation on the vinyl that short? No. Nope, I've never had a problem with that happening. I would think that it would have to be, so mine goes all the way down to a 2. So I would think that you would have to have it at a 2, and you would probably have to roll over it a couple of times before you have to worry about the vinyl tearing away due to the perforation. All right, let me grab some rivets. Let me see if I can show you. I don't even know if it'll show you up close. So here, I used a 3 for these 2 pieces of vinyl sewn together, and there is no, like you don't have to worry about that happening. I know 3 sounds like it's really, really tiny. So if you don't sew and you're not sure what we're talking about, what was that show, Squid Games, where they gave them like a little cookie in the little tin and it was like dotted around and you had to get something out of it without breaking the cookie or something like that. That's kind of the same idea. Did I go way off base with that, Daph?
I never watched Squid Games,
Okay.
so
After I said it, I was like, maybe that's not the best example, but hopefully you know what
it's
I mean.
just that yeah, it's the stitch length, how wide the stitches are. And she was asking if they were so close that it would actually perforate it, and no, the 3 is not bad. Nicole said you answered it perfectly.
Good. Good. Let me grab just another pop up. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put our sides with the bottom to make the gusset for the outside.
That was my dog. Did you hear that?
I didn't want to tell you what I thought it was. I was just going to roll.
Just rolling with it.
Okay. So like here, I'm going to use a stitch length of 3. I'm going to open it up. You don't have to worry about that. I've never had to worry about it. I've even sewn sometimes at a 2.5 and never had any issues with it. All right, so now we're going to do a top stitch along the bottom right here. So it's going to look kind of like this along the edges, and I'm going to use a 5 for that.
Each bag varies on how long it takes her to make, but usually around an hour, maybe a little bit more. Depends on how much she's talking.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
done a live before where she didn't talk at all, and it cut the time of the bag almost in half.
yeah. I think it was like an hour. It's usually between like an hour and a half and 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours per bag. It really just depends. All right, so I'm going to mark the center of the bottom. That way I'm going to match the center of the bottom to the center of the panels that I marked earlier. So remember how I notched it down here? I'm going to go ahead, line those centers up, clip them all together.
I like the voice option too, Linda, because a lot of times I'm trying to answer the questions and I'm backspacing because she answered it while I was typing it.
And I know I miss so many questions and comments when I'm like looking down sewing, so I like it too. Because I don't ever want anybody to feel like I'm ignoring them on purpose. Only certain people.
Molly said it looks like you have less lighting in your work area.
Does it? So I have this ring light. I didn't turn it all the way up because it literally blinds me. Does it seem more bright now?
A little bit brighter. Yeah, turn it down so you're not blinded. As long as you can see.
Not right. I usually like only turn it up halfway. All right. So just like the interior, I'm going to clip the straight ways. So straight down, straight, straight. For the corners, I'm going to add some staples. I have not used my stapler since I moved, so hopefully, oh, here it is. Hopefully I have staples.
She is making the Kiana bag today.
And then when I'm done, I'll just pull these staples out. There we go. So that's what it looks like, just clipped in place. Then we're going to sew. That was a louder knock than normal. I'm waiting for this machine to just break down. Not that I want it to, but it just feels like it's going there. All right.
Did you find somebody that would actually come to you and fix it?
Yeah, so there was a guy when I was calling around. There was a guy. He didn't give me the warm and fuzzies. He was a younger gentleman, and I've always dealt with like older men. And for me, I think it just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable because I know they've probably been in the game for 50 plus years. This guy was a little bit younger. He may have even been a little bit younger than me. So I was just being extra and I passed on him originally. But he does do house calls and I do now need a house call. So I'm going to check him out. And I mean, worst case, he tells me he can't fix it and I get a new sewing machine.
Nicole, yes, it was damaged in the move.
Yeah. Which normally when we move around, when we had moved around in the interior, so like from Pennsylvania to Texas, from North Carolina to Pennsylvania, I would take my sewing machine with me, right? Because I could drive my little car from one state to another. But coming from Hawaii here, I couldn't, just the weight of this sewing machine. I mean, I couldn't like pack it in my bag or like my carry-on, right? And if I packaged it and brought it with me on the plane, I would still have to worry about it being thrown in with the rest of the luggage underneath the plane. So I think that's probably why it got damaged so much. But it'll be fixed. It's just how long it's going to take. And just the annoyance of dealing with it in the meantime. It's just a minor annoyance. Everything will be okay. All right, here we go. So here is the other side that is attached to the gusset, and we're going to go ahead and sew that. And then once I'm done sewing that, I'm going to go ahead and take out the staples on both sides. Here we are. Did you have your car shipped over? Yeah. Yep. Me and my husband had our car shipped. So mine went a couple months before we left. So that way it was here waiting for us when we got back. And then my husband came not long after that. Is this bag a special order? No, it's not. It is not a custom order. I actually made this wallet earlier. And I had already cut this out and I was like, let me go ahead and just jump on live and make this live. But this is a new item to my website. It's not online just yet. I have to take pictures of it and edit those pictures and then post. So hopefully by tomorrow morning it should be online. Unless somebody claims it through email.
I think the quilted bags are going to be a big hit. I love them.
I do so. And it's easier for me too because I don't have to custom order vinyl, which I get people like items that they can custom print the vinyl, and I can totally do that. But having all of these fabrics in here, and I don't have to have anything custom printed, it just makes it so much easier.
Lisa was asking if you could have put the machine in the trunk of your car.
To ship it, no. So when you ship your car on a boat, it actually has to be 100% cleaned out. You can't have anything in there, not even like your registration. And you actually have to have it professionally cleaned before it gets on the boat. So no, unfortunately not. Have you seen the quilted witch hats that people have been making? I haven't. What, for like Halloween? Or just for like people wearing witch hats all day? I don't know. I don't know what they're for. I thought that would be cute though for Halloween. Because with it being quilted, it gives it that sturdiness, that vinyl. So like this is 2 layers of fusible fleece and it's standing up just like a piece of vinyl is. Yes, Halloween. Yeah, do it. I'd love to see it. So I'm just sewing open my side seams.
I am not her sister. I'm just a friend.
We could be sisters.
Yeah, we could.
Okay, so we have the outside here. We have our inside here. I'm going to turn my inside wrong side out. I'm going to open up my zipper pocket because that's how we're going to turn this right side out. I'm going to tuck this in, making sure my zippers are opening the same way. And then I'm going to go ahead and just line them up. I'm going to start with the side seams right here. I'm going to match up the side seams for the interior. Clip those in place. Same thing over here. And then I'll go ahead and clip everything else around. Could you make it a drop lining? Yeah, you would just have to finish the edges of the outside, finish the edges of the inside, and drop it in. Of course you can. I would say it might be a little challenging with the curve finishing, like finishing the edges. It's easier to do it if you have a straight line. You can. It's just going to be a little bit more challenging.
Cheryl wants to know how many bags you've made.
Like in my lifetime or like today?
She didn't specify, but she said, how many bags have you made?
Today, this is just my first bag, aside from the wallets. Like total in my lifetime, gosh, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I think like, so my invoicing for
Lifetime, she said. Yeah, lifetime.
Lifetime. So when I first started invoicing on my website, it started with invoice number 100. And I think, I'm on 9,000. I actually just got an order, so I can see it in my drop down. 9,029 is the invoice that I'm on right now, which means that I have made at least 8,900 items. A lot of invoices have multiple items on there, so I have sold, but then again, some of those are patterns too. So I would say at least 3,000.
Probably more than that.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I have like 20.
That's true. You alone hold like 2,000 of them.
Right?
Yeah, quite a few. Quite a few. That was my order. Nicole, was it what did you order? More than 3,000, yeah. So yeah, that's on like the lower end. Okay, now that we have our interior and exterior clipped together, I'm gonna go ahead and sew all the way around this pattern. I hope you love it. I hope you love it. Just take your time. I'm free. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email. Oh, I missed that last comment. What was it? Then you've got,
Then you've got all your personal ones
true,
that you've made.
true. And like those items like for my family and friends that I didn't charge for.
Will you ever get a cylinder arm?
I don't think so. I don't think, for me personally, I don't think it's a necessary item for me to justify spending the money because they're expensive. I don't think that I would use it enough.
I don't even think I really know what that is.
So, think about like this sewing machine. If this was the only item, so a cylinder arm kind of looks like this. So the machine's here, and then you have just one arm, and it's so that you can put a handbag over it.
Oh, okay.
It's probably a terrible illustration.
I would assume they probably use those in like leather.
Yes, yeah. But then there are certain ways, certain bags, and the way that you have to put them together where you do need a cylinder arm. So it helps you get into tight spaces because it doesn't have like this table down here. It would just have one arm coming right out here and it's kind of thin, but you don't have any of this underneath it. It's just a complete drop underneath it. So you can get items in and out easier. All right, let me see. I'm gonna trim off a little bit of fabric here, a little bit here. Are you thinking, whoever asked that, are you thinking about buying a cylinder arm? I watched a guy here on TikTok make leather bags and he has that kind of sewing machine. Yeah, no. All right, let's turn this right side out.
Drum roll.
Hi, Rebecca. Nice to finally see you. Hey, Vivian. How are you? Drum roll. All right, let me turn on my iron, get that heating up. I tagged your family in the witch hat post. I can't tell you for some reason. So I usually I get weird tags and I get weird comments. So like I have a lot of filters on just to protect my sanity. So maybe. Just Mammy should be able to because her and I are friends.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I get sent a lot of weird stuff, tagged in a lot of weird stuff. I actually have my TikTok notifications totally turned off. So if I get a message or like or a comment, I don't even see it until I log into the app. People are weirdos, right?
Well, and then too, sometimes people see other people making your patterns and then they want to tag you and be like, oh my gosh, they stole it.
That's true. I actually had somebody do that to me on Facebook. The person took my video and posted it to their page insinuating that it was them making the item. And so I just filed a complaint with Facebook, and I swear I've gotten like four messages from that person requesting me to remove the claim that I filed against them. And I just finally blocked them because they just kept asking. So I'm assuming Facebook did something to them that they didn't like, where they can't post videos or anything anymore, which is why they were asking me to remove the claim that I filed. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could turn them on to get tagged in certain things, but like I said, there's some weird people out there.
This is her Kiana Bag pattern, but she's doing a quilted version of it.
How many layers of vinyl will you be sewing through when you top stitch this bag? On this side, I only have 2 layers of vinyl. This part right here is folded over from where I just sewn it together. So there's 2 layers of vinyl here. There's 4 layers of vinyl here. Not worth the risk, right? Thanks, Lisa. Just hashtag it. Isn't it super cute? I hate that this zipper panel takes away a little bit of the print on the top of it, but this side, so adorable. And the purple is just perfect. You have a little bit of light and a little bit of dark all the way around. Light, a little dark. It's really pretty.
I think you could still do it on a domestic. You just have to go slow and make sure you had the right presser foot and all that.
Yep, needle size. You want a thicker needle, like a denim needle. Should have no problem going through this. If you have a walking foot attachment for your sewing machine, like my domestic sewing machine, it does have a walking foot attachment with it. I would use that if I was making this on my domestic. All right, let me go ahead and iron. Sometimes when you turn it right side out, you can get a little bit of wrinkling. So what I like to do is just stick my iron down on the inside, hit it with a little steam. And that's usually plenty to get out any wrinkles from all things purple. Do you have to spray the quilted part with protectant at all or not? I am not going to. I know that there's a lot of people who have allergies to certain products, so I do not spray any of my items with anything foreign. But if you want to, you can. It would just add a little bit of extra protection. All right, let's go ahead and do a top stitch all the way around. I'm gonna go up to a 5. Where do I want to start? I'm probably going to start on let me make sure my hardware is out of the way. And I just go nice and slow. We're going to stitch a little, turn, stitch a little, turn. Just checking my stitching. Oh, you know what? I haven't made the shoulder strap yet.
Yes, she uses the same color in her bobbin.
Go ahead and trim my thread. All right, almost back to the beginning. hit these tiny pieces of thread with my lighter just to seal those up. That is what the top stitching looks like. I actually started right here. I didn't want to start in the dark because I knew that the light purple would pop. I probably could have started here. I wanted to kind of camouflage my start and stop top stitching, but that's what it looks like on the vinyl. And then let me go ahead and make the shoulder strap. I'll probably wind up steaming the outside just to get rid of any of these. I don't really want to put the iron too close to it because I don't want to burn my vinyl. So
Did you sew the pocket up?
No, I didn't. Thanks.
That was Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Somebody always catches it.
You do, and I'm so appreciative. I sold a bag one time, and when she got it, she was so incredibly kind about it. But when she got it, the zipper pocket wasn't sewn shut. She was like, "Yeah, I put my debit card in there, and it like disappeared halfway during the day, and I was wondering what happened, and I hadn't sewn it up." So I definitely appreciate when you guys catch it. You can tell I watched for a while. Yes, hey Susan, for sure, and I appreciate that. Okay, all done. Let's do the shoulder strap. Oh my gosh, it's almost 6 o'clock. Well, it is 6 o'clock.
Mona said she did that once too.
Did you sell it, Mona? I was so embarrassed, but it was somebody who had ordered from me, a bunch before, so she knew it was just like an honest mistake, and she was incredibly gracious. Yes, it's the worst feeling ever. Now, I've tried to get into a habit of when somebody orders the bag and I'm packing it up, just to take an extra second, unzip the pocket, make sure it's sewn up, just so, because it can be an expensive mistake, right? Because I had to pay for her to ship that bag back to me, and then I had to pay for shipping again to send it back to her so that I could fix my mistake. And for a handbag, it's about at least $10 every time I ship it. So $10 when I shipped it to her, $10 when I shipped it back to me, and then another $10 when I shipped it back to her. So $30. It's not a cheap mistake. So I've been trying to get into the habit of just checking them before I ship them out. Same. Where shipping cost higher from Hawaii? I always wondered that about Hawaii and Alaska. So surprisingly, I've only shipped 3 items so far. And I would say that the shipping cost for me was relatively the same that it was in Hawaii. I haven't really seen a big decline. Thanks, Patty. I have a feeling I'm going to be remaking this bag for somebody. I think it's
for sure.
Someone's going to be like, well, I want one too. All right. She's all taped done. I'm going to go with a 5-stitch length. Thanks, Susan. I'm going to go to bag. Yes. Ugh, I hate the way this thing sounds.
Oh yeah, she makes the same bag over and over. But she does change it. She does do What's the word I'm looking for?
Different prints.
Modification sometimes.
Oh. Yeah. Thread got cut somewhere.
She did not quilt it live.
No. But I can't, I mean, are you guys interested in seeing the quilted process? Because I don't mind doing that live. I would just think that it was kind of boring. Because I'm literally just doing the same thing over and over again. Actually, I have one.
Yes, they would be interested.
Okay. Something happened with my stitches a little. Just gonna take this out and then stitch back over.
Josephine said, nothing you do is boring.
Okay. That's very sweet of you to say. I find a lot of this stuff boring. The construction, so like putting everything together, is probably my favorite part. All like the prepping and, you know, ironing and cutting. I think that's a little bit boring to me. All right, let's go ahead.
Lavada just bought the pattern.
She what?
She bought the pattern.
Oh, thanks, Lavada. I hope you like it. If you're not already in my sewing group, I have a Facebook group. It's called Butter Bag Patterns. And you can log or you can join there and you can see like how other people have modified the bag. You can ask any questions. You can show off your bag when you make it. I'd love to see it if you're not already in that group. Get all these threads out of the way.
Jelly roll races are fun.
Jelly roll races?
Yeah, it's a quilt top that you make from jelly roll strips. Adorable Creation said she's doing her first jelly race this Saturday.
I've never even heard that.
Yeah, it's fun. You just sew all the strips together, and then you know kind of fold those in half and sew down the seam, and then you fold those in half and you sew down the seam. It's to see who can do it faster. It's fun.
Oh, cool.
I wanted to make one of those jelly roll rugs where you use the strips and then you do it in a circle.
Yeah, I've seen those. I wanted to do those too. Let's see. Yeah. All right.
It will be live on TikTok at 6 p.m. Saturday if you want to watch or join.
Oh. What was the name?
Adorable Creations.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. Saturday? All right, so I'm just adding. So with this pattern, I actually have a Kiana as my everyday bag, and I like to wear it with a crossbody strap. But what I don't like is to have the shoulder strap hanging and then wearing it with my crossbody strap. So I make the shoulder strap removable. You don't have to. If you're making this bag and you just want to use it as a shoulder strap, you can just go ahead and put this onto your D-ring and you can rivet it on the bag, and that way it won't go anywhere. I like to make mine removable again, so that way I can wear it with or without the shoulder strap, with or without the crossbody strap. So that's just a preference, and I'm pretty sure that the pattern tells you to make it this way with the removable strap, but you can modify it. There we are. Let's set these rivets and we are done.
Most of them will use their jelly erase for bag making. Ooh, I bet that would be a pretty bag.
I love that. So I'm assuming that it's cotton. Well, aren't all jelly rolls cotton?
Yeah.
Forgive my ignorance. I'm not really big in the quilting community.
Yeah, they're just 2.5-inch strips of cotton. Usually the 2.5 inch by like the 44 or 42-inch fabric.
Oh, cool. So yeah, those are some pretty long
I
strips.
can send you one if you want to try one.
Probably not. I don't know if I'll have the time. That's very kind of you to offer though. I mean, I would love it, but I don't want to take it off of your hands and then just not use it.
I mean, you could make it with your fabric too. You just cut 2.5-inch strips.
True, yeah, because I have all of mine is pretty much, it's either 40 or 44.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here she is. Let me go ahead and add a BD. I'll actually add 2 because she's so pretty and I don't want to permanently decide what the front and the back is with a name tape. So normally I would add a name tape to the pocket, but you could also use this as the front if you want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little charm, this little charm to my zipper panel, but I'm also going to add one to the outside zipper. So let me grab, see if I can remember where I put these. Hi, Debbie Lee. What wallet did you make with it? The necessary clutch wallet. Alright, so I'm going to add this here. How are my being home? I love it. Alright, so here's a little BD there, and then I'm going to put one here too. Isn't it adorable? I have been obsessed lately with everything quilted. I'll show you. After I do this, I'll show you the other 2. I sold a couple that were quilted, and then I'll show you what I have left. There we go. So there's one right here. And then there's one right here. Just a little something extra to grab onto. And then the interior is the exact same for the bag as well as the wallet. I did the credit card slots and the same fabric that I did the pocket lining with.
So pretty.
Love it. Okay, let me show the other 2 items that I have quilted. I did one live. So if you missed it, you can go to my YouTube and you can find it there. Let me just set these aside for a second. Where are we? Right here. So I did this Big B. This is a quilted bag. I'm not going to take all the stuffing out. But same thing, I quilted everything. These are 4x4 blocks and I sewed them together with a 1/2-inch seam allowance. And then I just layered each side with 2 layers of fusible fleece. So this side got 2 layers of fleece. This side got 2 layers of fleece. There's vinyl on the bottom, vinyl for the handles, and then we have vinyl accents on the inside. And then I think I still have my zip-around wallet that I quilted. Let me see. I don't see it, but I'm pretty sure I have it. I'm just not really sure where it is. Yeah. Unless it's sold, I'm not sure. It may have sold. I'm surprised that I know, me too. But you know what? I actually the bag that I'm doing tomorrow, which is custom ordered, it's actually done in the same, but it is done her
Oh, I
and
love that.
yeah. So she wanted to add that to them as well. So this is all I do when I piece together. This was actually sewn in a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I actually have to increase it to a 1/2 inch, which is why it was on my sewing machine over here. Um, but this is all that I do when I piece them together. I just sew them together, and then each row, I sew each row together. Like, this is the next row. So then all I do is I match up the seams and I right sides together, and then I just sew them together, open it up, press the seams out. But yeah, this is going to be really pretty. I can't wait to make it. So this is the bag. This is the style that I'm making tomorrow, and it's pretty much the same thing except for the camo that's incorporated in it. I know.
That's
I'm
gonna be so cute.
I know. I can't wait to make it. She's really excited about it too. All right, so that's all I have. So these, if I did not get an email with anybody claiming these, I will be posting them to my website either tonight or tomorrow, and you can grab them there. That's all that I have. I will be back tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Did you replicate your new sewing room from your last one, or did you done that to make it new? So I have an entire basement to use. Actually, I can show you. Tomorrow, Diana, is noon Eastern time. Let me flip this around and then I can show you guys. Flip camera. Let me take this off the charger. So this is where I was at, my sewing machine. And here are all of my products along this wall. I am pretty bare because I did a huge sale right before I moved and I sold most of my items. So coming down here, I have, this is the sewing machine. So remember how I was telling you guys earlier when I tried to sew a bobbin, the belt is not lining up with this. So normally it goes on the wheel, but for some reason, and it looks like it may have just fixed it during the sewing, this belt is popping off of this right here, and it's not allowing me to wind the bobbin. This thing is a mess. So when I moved, there's a bar that goes all the way through the top of this, and this part here had to have gotten damaged. So now when I sew, it makes that noise. And it also, if you see it when it sews, it actually wobbles around. So that's the problem with that sewing machine. And then this was my the new one that I bought since moving here. So here's my sewing space. This is my office. This is the bar that I was telling you guys about that has like cabinets. It's a bar. My TV is right there. This is my sewing table that I actually built. It's an 8-foot table. They broke the legs when
Oh no.
they broke the legs when they moved it, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. But they went like right here. So that's why it's right up along here. But then this is my sewing space. These right here are my work in progress. This is my vinyl rack. This is my cutting table. This is where all of my hardware is. This is more hardware over here. I have it separated by finish as well as size. This is, remember how I said I have a couple of things where I have to find their forever home too? There's some stuff up here. That is my serger. That is my press, some more hardware. This is my printed vinyls over here. My interfacing for items is over here. This is my fabric rack. And then the top of this is shipping. These are my crossbody straps. webbing. And then down here are my zippers. And then here's more zippers. And then here is that, oh, here are all of my patterns
I
that I
love
use.
that.
No, me too. I just went on Amazon and bought some of these really light clips for them. And then this is the bar area. Some more stuff that I have to find It's Forever Home for. And then here's some more storage in here. It looks crazy. And then that's where I take my pictures, my product pictures.
It works.
It does work. But that's it. So there's a ton of space here. I wish this little island piece wasn't in here because it would just open up this floor a little bit more. But I can't complain because I have overall like a ton of space. Ton of space. And then this is my backyard.
It's a tiny yard.
So tiny. I built this table for my woodworking and we just don't have any room in the garage, so I had to put it back here along with some other stuff. But yeah, it's tiny. But on the outside of this fence is like all like a grass covered field, so my dogs love going out there. But yeah, it's tiny. The dogs don't really care for it, I don't think, just because there's a ton of stairs and there's not a huge yard. What is the style name of the bag and wallet you done? So I can find it on the website. So the wallet is a necessary clutch wallet. This is not my pattern, but you can find it with Emmeline Bags, Emmaline. This is called the Kiana. This is on my website, the pattern. All right, I am going to run and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Just Mammy, for helping me out today.
No problem. Anytime I'm available. Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.